Good morning. Happy Thursday. This is the 19th day of May. Excuse me. This is the 9th episode of season 4 of the Be Your Own Hero show. Sorry. Okay. 9th episode of season 4 of the Be Your Own Hero show. And HERO is an acronym. It means helping everyone reach optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. I'm your host. I'm Sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative, an author, a speaker, and the creator of the Hero Ministry Movement, which is my effort to uplift and inspire people in general and the unhoused community in specific. So welcome. Glad you're here. Check me out here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern, 8:45 a.m. Central, 7:45 a.m. Mountain, to hear me talk about my journey of becoming my own financial hero. And shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me this space and this opportunity and this platform to talk about that journey. I hope it serves you well. If it does, please like, please comment, and please share. Quick disclaimer, I am not a personal trainer, nor am I a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence. Okay, all that said, let's jump into it. So first of all, I am going to play today's run report. Today, well, I won't even tell you what day of my run streak it is. I'll just let the run report say. So let me play the run report, and then we're going to circle back to a couple things from yesterday. So this is today's run report. I'm getting it queued up, and here we go. Run streak day 353. I've been running every day, at least a mile a day, for now 353 consecutive days in a row. Welcome to the Sekou Hero Charity Run. All right. So thus far, I've raised more than $7,000 for 10 different charities by running in 11 different cities and running more than 1,000 miles. And we're still going. Shout out to Norma, who asked me to reopen the funding for Brown Boys Read. I didn't have her name yesterday, but shout out to Norma. Yeah, because we closed that out. We donated $1,000. Thank you, Hero Nation, to Brown Boys Read. But there's more people who want to donate. So let's get that going again. Link is in the bio. And stay tuned for the next mission. And also stay tuned for my show, the Be Your Own Hero Show, Financial Literacy for Artists and Retirees. I'll see you soon. Later. Today's run story, I ran a little over a mile at Turnip Truck, which is a grocery store on Charlotte, mainly because I need some juice as soon as they open. That's it. Okay, so that's today's run report. Funny thing, this will be my first sidebar of the day, my first and hopefully only sidebar. Funny thing, they didn't open. Turnip Truck has historically opened very early. I discovered them during the pandemic, and I would go early in the morning. Today, they didn't open. I started running in the 6 o'clock hour. I came to the door at 7. They weren't open. And they had a sign up that said they weren't going to open until 8, and I couldn't wait that long. So I went to another place and got something slightly less nutritious than the juice that I was waiting for. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So that was my run story. Anyway, I wanted to circle back to the quiz from yesterday. I can't believe nobody got the quiz. So I'm going to play it one more time, and then I'm just going to tell you who it is. Because, well, unless somebody guesses right now, you got one more shot at it. You got one more shot at naming the celebrity voice. Again, this is this new thing that I'm doing where I am under, I don't want to say that. I'm using as a soundtrack these motivational snippets from famous people. And I'm using those for my run videos, which, as you know, I do every day. So this one is a very famous actor. Let's see if you can get the voice this time. If not, I'm just going to tell you. Here we go.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish.
Okay, so there you go. You heard it twice. Any last minute guesses? Let me check the chat. Shout out to Gladys for checking in. Shout out to Linda for checking in. All right, I guess there's no more guesses. There's no guesses at all. That voice is Denzel Washington. I'm sure you can hear it now, right? As soon as I said it, you can probably hear it. But that voice is Denzel Washington. I believe he was giving a commencement address. And it's good advice. It's good advice. Commitment and consistency. You got to have both. You got to have commitment to start, but then you got to stay consistent. And I can speak to that a whole lot in terms of the Sekou Hero charity run and everything that has evolved from it. But being consistent has probably been one of the things people have reflected back to me the most. They've said, I really admire your consistency. I respect your consistency. That's a word that people have been reflecting back to me quite a bit since I've begun this journey. So that's it. Have commitment, have consistency. Have commitment, have consistency. So says Denzel Washington. All right, shout out to Nan for checking in. So I'm going to keep doing that on social media, using these inspirational quotes along with my running snippets. Seems to be a thing. But anyway, it's fun for me. And also, I'm using messages that resonate with me. So Denzel saying to me, quote unquote, to be consistent and to be committed is impactful. All right, so moving on. You already heard it. It's day 353. We have ended that quiz. That one didn't go so well, but I'm going to have a new one soon. Hopefully you'll get the voice next time. All right, so I have not hung my medal back here, my half marathon medal, because as you heard me say in the run report, we've reopened funding for Brown Boys Read. So let's see where it goes. We're just going to run it out through day 365 and see what happens. Okay, moving on to the dice roll challenge. Thus far, we had $2, $4, $4, and here we go for Thursday. The number is 3. Let me make a note so that I can recap all the numbers at the end of the week in case somebody just needs to do a big payment for the week. So today's number is 3. You're going to take $3 out of circulation and set it aside for investing. Moving on to Morning Zen. Morning Zen. As you know, I've been reading the book, How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever by Victor Bach. However, this morning I jumped into a different book. This book is called A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online. A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online. Because, as you know, if you've been watching the show, I'm becoming more and more fascinated with the idea of trading, because now that I've experimented with it a bit, I see that it's not as difficult as I thought. That's not to say it's not difficult, but it's not nearly as difficult as I thought. I have made several successful trades, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. I figured out a way to approach it for me that seems to be working well. So, reminder, don't be scared. Jump in the pool, dabble a little bit. What I did is I signed up for Webull, W-E-B-U-L-L, Webull. And if you use someone else's link, they give you free stock. So that's what I did. They gave me free stock. So I am trading the stock that they gave me for free. Zero risk. Zero risk. So anyway, I suggest that you check it out. Anyway, so that's the book I'm reading, A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online. And again, I'm shocked by how often the stuff that I read about money and finance dovetails with the things that I'm reading about wealth and abundance and mindset. That said, this is not one of those quotes. Here's the quote from the book that I want to share. The Dow, as it is often referred to, is the most closely watched market indicator in the world and is generally perceived to mirror the state of the American economy. I'm going to read that again. The Dow, as it's often referred to, is the most closely watched market indicator in the world, and it is generally perceived to mirror the state of the American economy. So why is that important? Because all of us can buy the Dow. Mind blown, right? All of us have access to the Dow. It's not held up in some case that we can't open. It's available to all of us, and it is the most closely watched market indicator in the world. It is really synonymous with the American economy. the Dow and the S&P 500, which is also completely available to us. This is important because the work has already been done. The work has been done for us. Ooh, do I want to talk about that yet? Put a pin in there. We're going to circle back to that in a second. So that is the morning Zen. Sometimes I read, believe it or not, sometimes I read finance books early in the morning as my morning practice. I don't know when that happened, but it's supposed to be inspirational reading, but somehow reading about money and finance inspires me. And also, as I just said, I'm shocked by how similar these books are to books by thought leaders like Jay Shetty and Eric Thomas and Tony Robbins. Many of the same things are being repeated here. That said, let's do the affirmation and get into this abundance chat. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Where's my affirmation? Here we go. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Let's say it again with more feeling. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Ashe and amen. So the quick reminder, as usual, if you only spend, you'll stay poor. If you only save, you'll stay middle class. In order to change your financial circumstances, you must invest. It is not optional. It's not optional. Just saying. All right. So now we've come full circle. Let's get back into the money and the finance and the abundance and see where we go. All right. So, yes, I just want to echo what Linda is saying in the chat. Yeah, it's on sale now, way down yesterday, good or bad. It's about point of view. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. And as you know, if you've been watching the show, my definition of mindset is seeing the exact same information, but seeing it with new eyes, seeing it in a new way. So let's talk about it holistically. So yesterday, I started talking about cryptocurrency and Coinbase and Kathy Wood, right? So let's start there and then bring this full circle into this little box. I got a lot of things going on in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how to get them all together. So let's start with what I said yesterday. I started talking about my investing in cryptocurrency personally, right? And I said that, well, let me just repeat. So I closed my positions on most of my cryptocurrency holdings. So that is to say that I owned several different stocks and ETFs in the cryptocurrency space. And I closed all those positions, which is to say that I sold them. And then I bought something else. Now the question is, why did I sell them and why and what did I buy? So I sold them because I keep asking myself, what do I know? Right? Like I want to have a healthy respect for the stock market, for this world that I've stumbled into. And I want to remind myself that I don't know that much. I know a little, but I don't know that much. So I keep asking myself, so what do I know? Right? So this is what really struck me. Two things really. Number one, there was a dot-com bubble that you might remember in the 90s. Where all these dot-coms were getting funded left and right, left and right, left and right. Right? In that time period, there was a battle for search engine dominance. And I've talked about this before. At the time, it seemed like Yahoo was going to win. They were going to win that battle. Google was nowhere on the map. But as we know now, Google completely demolished the field. Everyone talks about Googling something. You don't talk about Yahooing something, right? And so recognizing that helps me understand that even though I feel 100% confident that cryptocurrency is something that's going to be around for a long time, I don't know who is going to win the war. I don't know who's going to last, who's going to still be standing, right? So you may remember that I bought into Coinbase. Now, Coinbase is an exchange. Meaning, like if you go traveling and you go to a little booth, you take your dollars to a little booth, and you say, hey, here's my dollars, I need local currency back. That's what Coinbase is. So you take your dollars to Coinbase and they give you cryptocurrency back, right? And there are a number of these exchanges. There's Gemini. Gemini, by the way, sidebar. Gemini was created by the Winklevoss. Yeah. The Winklevoss twins. They famously created Facebook before Mark Zuckerberg took it from them. And I phrase it that way only because I read the book and Zuckerberg paid them a substantial settlement. So seems like it might be true that they hired him to run Facebook, but he took it from them. Anyway, they took the money that he paid them in that settlement and they created Gemini, which is yet another cryptocurrency exchange. So you got Coinbase, you got Gemini. My dad called recently and told me to check out FTX. I love the way everyone in my circle is thinking about finance now and investing because I talk about it so much. He told me to check out FTX. I check it out. It is yet another cryptocurrency exchange. So you got Coinbase, Gemini, FTX. You got Binance. Binance is one of the big ones. It's huge. Well, all of them are big, but Binance is like one of the biggest. There's also Kraken, BitSmart, BISC. There's so many exchanges. And as I was investing in Coinbase, I started to get concerned about the fact that there were so many exchanges popping up. And so I closed my position on Coinbase and all the other cryptocurrency stocks I have. And then I bought into something else. I want to be clear that I still own the native cryptocurrencies. Like I still own some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, etc. But the stocks associated with such, I sold. All right. Now, exchanges, I believe in, because in a gold rush, who makes the most money? I should phrase that differently. In a gold rush, the person selling what makes the most money? We're going to do a quiz? Let's do a quiz. In a gold rush, the person selling what makes the most money? Answer that question in the chat. Let's see who can get. There's actually a couple correct answers, but let's see who can get close. As you're typing that in the chat, I'm going to talk more about what I did. So when I closed my positions, I reallocated some of those resources. And I phrase it that way because for me, my new mental hack is once the money is in the stock market, it can't come out for no reason. For no reason, it can't come out, right? So even yesterday when I was talking about cashing out on Apple, I cashed out on Apple and I put it right back into Tesla. Like it's got to stay in the market. So I reallocated my resources from closing my positions on all the various cryptocurrencies, and I bought into Cathie Wood's ETF, right? So who's Cathie Wood? Well, she's a famous investor. She's often called the female Warren Buffett. She is known for beating the S&P 500 consistently in terms of her own investments. And that phrase, beating the S&P 500, means that the S&P does very well. Year over year, time after time, the S&P does very well. It's steady. It's steady. And so if you can do better than the S&P 500, you're doing really well, which, by the way, is more of a reason that we should own the S&P 500. If it's that test for all other activities, then we should own that too, right? But that's another sidebar. Okay, so Cathie has her own ETFs. She has several. One of those covers cryptocurrency. It's a little broader than just cryptocurrency, but it covers cryptocurrency. And she owns Coinbase in that ETF. So my thinking is Cathie's smarter than me, right? Let's be clear. And she's in the industry. This is what she does. This is her daytime, full-time job. She is studying the industry. She's trying to make money for her investors. That's what she does. And she has historically beaten the S&P 500 many times, which is a big deal, right? So I am betting on Cathie to figure out what's going on with cryptocurrency instead of betting on myself. I feel certain, as much as I know, I feel certain the cryptocurrency will win, but I don't know who's going to win what. I don't know who's going to end up still standing. But Kathy has invested in Coinbase. So literally, I took my money out of Coinbase and I put it on Kathy, who owns Coinbase. That way, if Kathy decides on Friday, Coinbase is not looking good anymore, I'm going to move my money from Coinbase to Gemini, and I'm going to rock with the Winklevoss twins. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to change anything I've done because I've invested in Kathy's ETF, right? So that's the way I'm playing it. The more I experiment in the stock market, the more I understand that it's about riding people's coattails. Like, unless you are going to make it your full-time job, unless you are really going to do a deep dive and you're going to read all the financials and you're going to understand the PE ratio and the dividend yield and all the different nuts and bolts of why a company is what it is and how it does what it does. If you're not going to do that, then the best thing to do is to ride someone's coattails who is doing that work. So all that said, it's best to go where the work has already been done. So we've discovered a couple places together where work has already been done for you. You've got the S&P 500, work's been done. Work has been done. If any of those 500 companies fall short, they will be replaced by another company. There are teams of people that monitor these S&P 500 funds. The work's been done. That's 500 companies. So there's two ways you can play that. There's two ways you can play that. You can play that as the whole bucket of the S&P 500, or you can think of it as these are 500 companies that are vetted, that I can invest in. You've got the NASDAQ 100 tech companies that have been vetted. You can play with those companies. You've got the Dow 30 companies. I still can't believe it's only 30 companies. But you've got the Dow 30 companies that have been vetted, including Nike, as we talked about in terms of Magic Johnson this week. So you've got the 30, you've got the 100, you've got the 500. You've got these companies that you know have already been vetted by people smarter than us in the industry. So no need to guess, no need to gamble, no need to speculate, no need to think, okay, well, maybe this one is going to win. Nope, don't do that. Like, I have a habit of doing that, and I'm curbing that habit. I'm closing those positions, as I just explained, and betting on people who are smarter than me to figure it out. So that's what I did. I invested in Kathy, and I'm going to show a video about Kathy now, and let's see if there's any answers about the gold rush. Okay, we got two answers about the gold rush. Nan said the rights to mine in the area. That's really good. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's real. I can't even argue with that. That's not what I was going to say. And then Glass is saying the same thing to Land. Yeah, that's not what I was going to say, but you're both right. Okay, so the answer that's given often is the person who makes the most money in the gold rush is the person selling shovels. The person who makes the most money in the gold rush is the person selling shovels. Why? Because they're not trying to find any gold. They just recognize that the environment is such that people want to find gold. Here you go. Here's a shovel. Good luck. They've got no stake in the game. Right? They don't care if you find gold or not. Here's your shovel to help you find gold. That's why these cryptocurrency exchanges are so popular and they're popping up all over the place, because they're selling shovels. Oh, here's my alarm. Oh, you want to go digging for cryptocurrency? Here's your shovel. And they make their money there by selling you the shovel. So all of them, Coinbase, Gemini, Binance, FTX, they're all doing extremely well because cryptocurrency is so popular and everybody's trying to buy a shovel. But that's where you want to be. That's one of the places where you want to be is buying shovels. So investing in companies that are selling shovels to the general public to go digging for cryptocurrency, you can't really lose there. My only point is I don't know which of those companies are going to make it in the long haul, but I think Kathy does. That said, let me show this video about Kathy, and so you won't just be listening to me talk about it. So this is ironically from Yahoo Finance, and this was recorded 5 days ago. Here we go.
Kathy Wood's ARK Invest is scooping up shares of Coinbase after the crypto exchange saw shares crash about 30% on the back of its disappointing earnings this week. Yahoo Finance's Alexandra Simonova is here with the details. Alexandra, I guess it's good just to see Cathie Wood out there buying something, just given how far her funds have continued to fall.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely staying the course on her strategy. Cathie Wood buying $3 million worth of Coinbase shares after a dismal week for the cryptocurrency platform. Coinbase shares were down nearly 50% as of yesterday's close over the 5-day period, notching a sharp drop earlier this week after disappointing quarterly results and a broader rout in cryptocurrency assets. But that didn't stop Cathie Wood, even as ARK Innovation took a big hit on Coinbase's plunge on Wednesday. As we remember, Coinbase plunged about 30% Wednesday after reporting its earnings. That same day, ARK Innovation lost about 10%. So Cathie Wood buying the dip on Coinbase despite all of the losses. So really staying the course on her strategy.
An extremely volatile week, as you mentioned, for Coinbase. And it seems like they are so focused on the future, which perhaps is right up the alley of Cathie Wood and how far out she's looking for a company like Coinbase to actually return a profit in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason that she is buying up shares of this. She's showing her conviction in her strategy, which has been both, one of her strong suits, because investors really believe in the fact that she believes so much in these innovation-focused stocks. But at the same time, it's raising a lot of eyebrows because that fund is seeing really sharp losses. Before today, it was trading near March 2020 levels. So you have to start wondering what it means for investors who are watching their portfolios go down and down as ARK continues to collect its investment management fees. And she keeps just promising that 5-term time horizon and promising these really lofty returns, but trading really low.
So have we heard anything from her? Is she just sort of doubling down on what you're saying? Has she acknowledged what's happening out there?
Yeah, Julie, I mean, she is doubling down. She did a webcast earlier this week. She blamed the Federal Reserve for the rout in stocks. But that's still...
You can blame the Federal Reserve all you want. It doesn't change anything.
Because if you look at her fund compared to some other equity funds, it's still faring much, much worse.
I'm going to be blaming the Federal Reserve when I overcook my eggs this weekend, too.
He gets it.
Your expensive eggs,
Exactly.
right?
What is the...
Okay, so I played the whole thing so that you can see the skepticism. You can see the skepticism live in real time. Because these are the kinds of things that make us feel afraid, right? But what I asked myself immediately upon seeing this video is how many of those people on the panel have beaten the S&P 500? Right? Like, it is not easy to beat the S&P 500. So I'm still rocking with Cathie. None of the things that they said bothered me at all. I know now that price fluctuates often, but it's the long-term play that we're worried about. The long-term play. In my mind, that's 5 to 10 years. What's going to happen in 5 to 10 years? So I am undeterred in the least by what they just said. So just to recap, what I did personally is I closed 100% of my stock positions in cryptocurrency, and I bought into Cathie Wood's. The fund that I invested in is ARKK. That's the ticker symbol, ARKK. I say that because she has several different funds. She's got a lot going on. But the one I invested in is ARKK. That's the one that's invested in Coinbase and other cryptocurrency assets. So that's how I'm playing it. I'm putting my money on the smart people. I'm putting my money on the smart people. I'm letting other people do the work for me so that I don't have to think too much. So that's the show for today. Yes, man, the shovels. That's how you win the battle. Bet on the shovels and bet on the people smart enough to sell the shovels. All right, so stay tuned for prayer time right now at 10:15. Stay tuned for Sip with Rev Melissa at 10:30. Check me out here again tomorrow for the weekly roundup. Maybe we'll talk more about some Magic Johnson moves. We'll see. But I'll see you here tomorrow. Keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own financial hero. And remember that now is better than perfect in terms of investing. Go invest today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Later.